I really thought that they would be joining LCF and Tartarus the first, but right now they're kind of struggling. And Untitled, on the other hand, being a wildcard team, they have been on the winning streak. They went from 0-2 for 2-2. So that basically means that if they win this one, it's a full win streak, a full bounce back from the down point, and they will be into the playoff stages. So Zohunt better be ready. And of course, this is the draft phase. And Debbie, what are your predictions? Like anything on your mind?
I think it has to always be, against Johan, just ban away the Fredrin and the Baksa and you're good to go, I guess. But yeah, I think for Johan though, they always stick to the Matilda ban or the Kalea ban when they are onto the red side. So maybe they could go for that too, or even the Hayabusa, they could work around that. So that's just what I'm thinking. But then again, they go for the Uranus, man. No Lapu Lapu ban just yet.
Asaya, what do you think?
Well, I agree with her. But then again, we do know that, Dusty really likes to play around those fighter junglers. So maybe just banning away or maybe picking up something which can just curtail the Prime because he's pretty good with his glow gold and Dusty. Because, every game I have seen them, these two are the pivotal points. And they always make sure that somehow, even if they are towards the losing side, they turn around the game right.
Absolutely, and that's what we're looking forward to. And oh my God, why is the Phobius banned? Let him be open. He got skin after 4 years. He was released on May 21, 2021. So exactly 4 years later, he got his first ever skin. Basic skins do not count because they release with the hero. But so yeah, first skin in 4 years. He have beaten the record of Vale, which was 1.5 years, and Faramis,
Oh.
which was 2.5 years by a mile. Like poor guy, man. Finally got the skin, and right now he's not gonna be seeing the land of dawn. But yeah, jokes aside, I think that is a good one because I feel like maybe Untitled can go for something with dashes. Of course, Arlot is a good option lately. A lot of teams have been picking up, so eliminating out the Phobius is really good. But I'm really looking forward to the first pick because right now, just like Debbie, we've seen the other Southeast Asian teams, they like to prioritize different heroes.
Yeah.
But India, they like to prioritize the Granger a lot, or sometimes they like to prioritize, of course, even the mage. So I'm really looking forward to if they're gonna stick to that, or today the script will be changed.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as well because and like you mentioned, the Granta is not that popular, but also onto the other reason. I mean, the Yisun scene is so popular, right? I would really love if India brings back the Yisun scene as well. But for Untitled though, they are banning away all the tankies here. If they go for the ban onto the Fredrin also, I wouldn't be surprised here because they could try to go for the Lapu. Oh, actually, they won. They won. They won. They are the one actually banning out the Lapu Lapu when they had the first pick. Ah. Okay, so they don't really want the Lapu Lapu for themselves as well. So Zohan, what could they ban here? Is it gonna be another XP lane ban or is it gonna be an assassin this time around?
Well, they could definitely work around because this is the crucial ban right there. Maybe banning out another EXP, but
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the best EXPs have been taken away. Although,
Mm-hmm.
it's. Ray, what do you think? What could be the last ban?
I think it possibly could be the Hayabusa or maybe a Farsa, in my opinion. Other than that, they can possibly go for. Okay, they have Shane, so there's a Harith ban chance. Yeah, or a
Oh,
Selena.
oh,
No, actually they go for Fanny, which is a very unconditional because Sunshine, he doesn't. Yeah, he can play Fanny, but Fanny first pick, I don't think so. So there's a
mhm.
chance for right now. Daki hasn't been playing Selena because she has been the one banning it out. So maybe she can finally pick up the Selena over here and fulfill one of our co-caster Peach's wish, or maybe we'll see
Yeah.
something else. But there's also obviously the Farsa Open, which is so much better in range and damage and everything. So there's that. Harris is open for Shane. So I feel like these are the solid options, Debbie.
Yep, and Harris into the hands of Prime is also something you do not want to give, but equally well, Harry can be played by Mr. Shane here as well because last time I've seen them play, that was such a good game that he did onto the Harry as well. He was able to make a big comeback too. They can even prioritize on that because they already banned away at the Fuvis as well. But oh no, it's actually gonna be the Grand Surge. So this time around, will we see the first
Same,
and the
same.
Fredrin? you know, Faden really loved the Farsa, right? And the Kadita as well, so they could really utilize on that. And Dusty, I think this time around he could try to secure his hero very early on because most of the time that I've seen them play, he gets choked down.
Yes, definitely, because just like I said before, Prime and Dusty being the two crucial members right there, but Grange being the first choice from the side of Team Untitled can lock down on that Harriet pick, according to me, because he counters him pretty easily, especially in the early. And Harriet really needs some of that early, maybe some snowballs so that he gets some
Mhm.
good farm towards the late or towards even the mid. So right now, maybe picking up a mage or yes, it is the Farsa.
Oh,
And
he's
do I
using
see a
that.
YSS? Dusty on YSS? It's my first time there.
What is happening? Like, did he
Thank you,
see?
thank you, thank you. What?
but yeah, Untitled going for the Granger, pretty standard. I would call it Indian standard pick at this point because I know India region just loves the Granger first pick. You would not see it in other regions. Let me tell you, Philippines teams, they do not prioritize the Granger at all. They would not even pick it instead. They would go for a different kind of marksman. Mostly, sometimes the 1-1, sometimes Irithel, sometimes the Moskov, the Bruno, even the Brody. But they don't go for Granger that much often. But India, they love their Granger, and I can tell you. But oh, what is this? They're coming up with a lot of different strategies tonight because Dusty and Yushin thought was the biggest surprise, but right now, looks like Joker as well as Nishan, they have different plans. They're going for the Minotaur. Actually, Untitled have picked up the Minotaur twice in the last round, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not
Oh,
like mixing up. Yeah, yeah. They Joker picked up the
mm,
Minotaur last time. 3 games non-stop and actually was able to knock out was it Lafukabi? Was it was a Team Peak Diplomat. Yeah, they were able to knock them out. But Nishan on the Tersla though, that's something new, Debbie.
Teresa, you don't usually pick out the Teresa into the first draft, but you usually go put it into the second, you know. But okay, Win definitely going uncharacteristic on the Xbox right now. He's definitely going to the into the XP, right? Because it can't go into the jungle. So Yisensin is already there. I'm very excited about. But okay, a Kadita ban away by the side of Zohan because they do not really want to give away the Kadita when you are on a Farsa. This hero is such a sick case. But okay, there we go. The Hayabusa coming in for the side of Johan. They always went the Hayabusa man. And Untitled, instead of going for the Harriet, they pick out the Granzer, right? They could have. I thought that Sin have is more comfortable on the Harriet than the Granzer, but I think they just want to have the reins and not give away Prime the Harriet soon. So maybe Prime this time around can be took down. They can always go for the ban onto the Moskov as well, right, Asuya?
Yep, definitely. And first of all, when the side of Team Zohan picked up the Farsa, I was thinking that Untitled should pick up Karita because she is pretty good
Mhm.
right now, especially with the buffs
Yeah.
she received. Doesn't even need to petrify to land up those combos. But then they just decided to go in for the Mino. And I believe that Mino could have been something which they could have picked up towards the late. And since they
Mm.
do have a mage option open, maybe they're planning to go for Selena because Farsa during her ult is quite standalone, so can be an easy prey to shut down her ultimate right from that Selena. Can be an option. Maybe that's
Oh.
what they were thinking to just, not reveal their cards right now since the jungler is also open for them. But then I, you know, I don't know if the Stereosla pick will really work out over here because just look at them. The mobility Team Zohant has right now, and Farsa has a lot of range. So, Terizla, he really needs to, I'm really curious how he's going to zone people away, how the gameplay will be coming from them.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think it's really interesting how they're really proceeding with their drafts because I was honestly expecting. Okay, but it makes sense overall. It makes sense. But, you know, one thing's for sure that I feel like they should have prioritized the Hayabusa, but maybe they're really wary of the Minotaur because of the simple fact that maybe that Zohunt has studied them and they might just ban out the Minotaur in the second phase, so they were wary of it. But okay,
Mhm.
overall, they do go with the Nolan, and the Daki's Nana makes a reappearance after the last round. This is a recreation
Oh
of
my
their
god.
draft from peak to plummet, and it's going to be a really interesting one. We're going back to the season 30 or so, where Tesla would be XP lane fighting and struggling against the Xborg, and we would see Nana Farsa in the mid lane duking it out along with Nolan. So yeah, it's a little bit of reminiscent over here. But Debbie, looks like the draft has been finalized, and of course you're going to be the analyst, right? And Asuya would be the one taking the team fights over here. So of course, obviously, give us your thoughts on both of the drafts, Debbie.
I think I am not sure about the Nana pick, man, because I've already seen on Daki, of course, also onto the hands of Eden Tartarus, of course, but I have never seen them play this kind against the Farsa, right? Because the Nana really doesn't have the range that the Farsa have. He's gonna have to be in a very good position, and the Nolan as well with the recent buff that he received, the early game is definitely mm, gonna be good. But Johan though, they have three scaling heroes that they're gonna have to play around. So the early game is so dependent on the XP laner and the roam.
Absolutely. And Asuya, right now we're diving into the Land of Dawn. So take it over from here, because this is game number one between Zohunt and Untitled in the last round of the Swiss stages. Both of the teams 2-on-2, and the loser will be out of the competition. Whoever wins this best of three. So Asuya, take it over from here with Debbie, of course.
Thank you, Ray. We'll miss you, and the audience will
Ah,
too. We'll come back to you as soon as possible. But right now,
Thank you.
Debbie, the draft, if you ask me, I think Zohunt's draft looks to be really solid because they have a diamond with the Gadot Kacha, and they have a diamond with the X-Borg. Barca can
yeah.
immediately follow up with the range. Same goes for the YSS, has the immunity, has a lot of mobility. So now the question is how Untitled is gonna grab onto the YSS and even the Irithel and Farsa, because that's what I was saying, when you pick up a CC tank, there's so much Purify. It's like the Purify is already equipped onto your arsenal. Three major people which you really need to control CC, they already have those Purifies.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the most important one as well. And very early on, Flicker baited away for Sin right there with this is what the Versa provides, right? Because he does have a lot of clearance potential into the mid lane, and that means the rotation is going to be much faster. And Prime might actually be seen to do well against the Granger as well, because this is a Native Granger combination right there. But the downside about this combination from Johan is that they do not really have the early competition to try to go for the turtle. But right now, though.
Oh, a bird flies away. 3 versus 1 happening is still going on. The revitalize barely saves up the Kaja. All the way from the top lane. Here comes our YSS. Level 4 uses up, his yeah, battle spell already coming up. So the fight for the turtle is already on.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a start right there. And Johan, they are actually the one having a better set because they did win out into the XP lane. So these, the myths about Johan is that if they get the first turtle, they are highly likely to win those games. But a poking games coming through by Mr. Win right there. He's just going for in.
Coming in from the far side, the stun connecting onto two people. Nana manages to back away with the passive, but it is an absolute victory for Zohunt. I mean, one kill, one passive used up, as well as the turtle. And right now, even
Yeah.
Granger doesn't look to be in a good position. That's a prime for you, and that's Irithel, a perfect counter for the Granger. But we do see some poking up going on, and family problem once again doing the best job in providing the visions.
Yeah, there's I think they're actually good into the early part of the game where they're playing over the map. And the thing about the Nana is that you're actually very how would I say, very immobile as well. You're just gonna be having to pop out the flickers most of the time, and the passive is there to help them survive. But without the passive, you're always gonna be in a dire position when you get caught most of the time. It's just I sure that for you. So I think Daki has to be careful this time around as well. And Minotaur is not the most tankiest tank we can ever see in the roam position. So he have to be a little bit careful too. So the boost check might not be there, but Ton.
Oh, two stuns and a stun connecting onto the Joker, but just manages to drive away for now. The teams are still gathering up. I completely agree, Daki, that Daki will be facing some issues right there. Gets taunted once again. I absolutely hate Garukacha, but it is really low
Oh.
HP. Overextension gets taken down. Meanwhile, the flicker being used up by Shane in the bot lane. Dusty comes up for the save, comes up for some assist. Looking for some kills left and right.
Mm. a first build Hunter Strike into the hands of Dusty Mizo right there, and the one to the War X as well for win. And I think this is gonna be the true damage dealing potential right there. But look at that Sunshine.
Goes in, takes down the Firaga armor. One positive point for them because that shutdowns. But look at that beautiful penalty zone coming in, and Hitori will be taken down. The AOTG dropping down. Sunshine manages to move away. The zone coming in from his is beautiful, but then again the retribution battle will be won out by him. Forza tries to assist, isn't enough, and the rest of the team also backs away.
Hmm. There was a misengage coming out from the side of J1 trying to contest for the turtle when they are 2-4. Okay. There was a rotation coming up from Prime as well, but he's going to be giving away a lot of gold into the hands of Sane right there, and to that extent he's going to be getting the Hunter Strike as well. So Johan right now, I don't think they have to look for fights here. They could just hold it in, try to wait for their jungle, try to wait for the Versa or even Prime onto the Aether, their farm up to scale up better because they have a better late game composition. So they shouldn't be looking for fights here and there. But mid lane though, I think we might be seeing something. But Sunshine, he was actually diving in, just taking so low, but the rotation is gonna be out there onto the bot lane as well. The Minotaur rotating together with Darky onto the Nana. They are trying to find a better place to try to shut down Prime, but he's still too careful, very careful, almost inside the turret, and there's no way they'll be able to catch him with the Purify. Even if the Purify is not available, he's just playing it so safe, and this has to be, the best way to play a scaling gold lane as well.
Yep, definitely. And one thing which I think is that Zohan, especially Hitori as well as Karukacha, they're literally underestimating that crowd control coming from the Molina, as well as the combo,
Yeah.
which is a follow up coming in from the Sunshine. So, if they are taken down, especially in those crucial team fights, then they will be losing out on those turtles. So they really need to make sure, especially the Xbox, that his Firaga armor is not destroyed. And look at that happening once again. That's something crucial which he shouldn't let happen right before the objective fights right there. But
Yeah,
meanwhile, we
and
do see Dusty doing the best he can, always split pushing somewhere, taking up those objectives.
yeah, that's the downside of a Yi Sensing as well. You're gonna be needing all your equips. You just wanna hit the level 15 on the perfect timing so as to have that late game potential going on. And I think Untitled are very trying to keep that at bay. Look at that though.
Okay, once again, the taunt's coming up right on spot. The revitalize being wasted by family problem. The team's looking for the turtle dance, looking to move around. The Irithel all the way from the bot lane coming up to help. Ranger might follow suit because they have not started the turtle yet. And
Mm.
Hitori just providing some vision, providing some zones. Same goes for Deadly. Both the EXP laners doing an amazing job. Still looking for the contested. Both of them looking to take their buffs. Meanwhile, we do see YSS contesting for the turtle already being started up. The rest of the teams coming up. The Firaga armor, the ultimate being used up right there. And look at the flicker,
Oh,
but the penalty zone misses out. Farsa's feather airstrike taking down right there, as she will be the one who will be just taken into consideration. And with this, I think Prime was a bit too late, but a turtle for a kill.
ah man, I think the gamble that Johan's been taking is so not worth it because they try to gamble for the turtle most of the time, just trying to depend on the retribution that Dusty might eventually try to hit, and he hasn't been very successful on that as well. So this is such a lose for the side of Johan. They shouldn't try to gamble this anymore. They can try to look for team fights more late than usual and try to look for objective more because they should focus on the bot lane though.
Yep, I don't think so that Dudley will be going down. Prime really needs some late game before he can start to pack punches, and that's what they are even making use of. The macro in the hands of like kind of equal from both the sides, but they just swap the lanes out just to take down that another turret from the bot lane. Even looking to push up, making it force it through from the mid, opening up the map for themselves. I think Untitled is doing a great job making use of their early game potential.
And they are fully making use of it as well because they know that once Zohan get over the item power spike, they're gonna be, it's gonna be really hard for them to stop them. So they are playing it so well, just trying to not let them give out any kind of creeps. Even the smallest creep is gonna be important for a hero like the Yi Sun Sin. And meanwhile for the the Nolan, he is always gonna be needing the blue buff, and that alone will be enough for him. But oh, look at the set though.
The penalty zone coming in, but gets
Oh,
taunted and stunned right there. Will be taken down. Not a good engage coming from their side. And with that, Nolan just looking for the split push. Might get caught up between so many people. Sunshine in the bush looking to move away. Just to dash away, of course, there is so much mobility in the hands of this assassin. And with that, they are once again gathering up for some team fight as the first lot of the game comes up.
yeah, and oh,
Okay,
ladder.
export and the penalty zone. The frog armor gets taken down, and the AOTD drops down, but he is still getting melted down by the Granger. One member down, deadly and really low HP, manages to back away, but Zohunt in the losing end, losing up. Family problem. That's not something in their favor because the Lord can be easily be taken down from the side of the Untitled now.
Yeah, and this is definitely gonna be a free not because Dusty right now is a level behind in comparison to Sunshine, and he hasn't been having the best retribution rate as well. So definitely not a contest that's gonna be made by Johan too. But the mid lane is gonna be focused on Entitled right there, and the zoning coming in from Joker. They'll be able to get the first mid lane that they're looking for. A lot of reason that's gonna be open up as well, and I think the law is gonna be here right now. But look at that 1v1.
Dusty trying to go in for the
Oh,
Nathan Sunshine and really low HP gets taken down. There is no one to backing up, no one to follow up, and with that, I think that was a good exchange coming in from Dusty. And the mid lane being focused upon once again the Lord marching down from the bot. And in all those team fights, Debbie, I think Irithel right now she hasn't scaled up. Nor is she even, participating in those team fights. And Granger, meanwhile, always there for the support. And that's how Untitled is actually winning out in a lot of team fights. So now it's already 10 to 11 minutes of the game. Irithel starts to participate. So, it can go in the favor of Zohunt.
Yep, and he's gonna be needing at least one more item to try to go and join to the team fights as well. But the thing is, though, the Terizla here, he's already getting the blade armor, right? So he's definitely gonna be hurting more than usual. And even though the Minotaur is actually a squishy here, if he does have the heal in combination with the Flask of Oasis as well as the Oracle, he's gonna be healing very very well for the side of Johan. They're gonna be needing a lot of anti-heal. They're gonna be needing the anti-heal available rightfully on time so that they will be able to go for those team fights, because most of the time they won't actually be winning out onto those team fights because the minions rates is too much.
The AOTG misses out right there. Family problem looking for some engages. Primary low HP gets gunned down by Granger's ultimate, the Feather Airstrike. Trying to support, trying to dish out some damage. The Fraga armor's been taken down. Dusty takes down Sunshine. And 3 for 2. But 1 for 2 exchange coming up right there. Granger's still looking for some exchanges. One last hit, but that's not enough. As Xborg just barely escapes in a pretty low HP.
Yeah, the only scapegoat right there was Prime here, and he's definitely gonna be the best. But oh, Ducky.
Okay, Dusty once again tries to go in for Ducky. The passive pops up. Just one hit is required. Takes it down, but in
Nah.
exchange, his life will be taken down. That was too much, I guess. Giving gold to the Granger not suitable, and with that, the rest of the team forcing it up. Like imagine Zohan still not being able to clear up the mid lane. That's how good Terizla is actually doing, and Xborg isn't as tanky as Terizla right now. But family problem, all alone, between 3 people, taunts them away. Hitori, here comes the penalty zone, the setup, and just look at the beautiful knock-up coming in from the side. And the Feather Airstrike trying to zone people away. The immunity, the AOTG, used up as not used up, just interrupted. But with that, Zohan tries to back off as they are taking up a lot of damage. Rocky is also back. The Lord has come up. So which team will be able to grab onto it?
Yeah, the CC is coming through from Untitled is making it hard for Johan to try to contest for any kind of objective, and this is gonna be another field we are seeing. And you know what? I think Shane getting the shutdown kills as well. He got a lot of kills right now, 3-0-0, and he's gonna be stacking quite a lot with the Sky Piercer. Oh, look at that though.
The zone's coming in. Knockups coming in, the penalty zone's coming in. Darky will be taken down. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, look at Deadly flickers away. Really low HP. One hit, and Prime will be securing that kill. Shane, meanwhile, takes it away with the EXP as a trade-off. Okay, the Wind of Nature coming in, and Shane still surviving, but no, it will not be possible. And Farsa guns him down. Four people down, and it might be the fifth one. As Sunshine tries to take someone down, trying to get those flanks away, and that was a pretty good exchange coming up right there.
Yeah, for one, I have take it any day right there because it was a long lasting team fight as well, and Johan actually deciding to go for those team fights, which was actually very uncharacteristic as well for Untitled to try to commit fully onto it because they had a lot marching down to the bot lane. So this is definitely going to be a free lot taken by Johan right now. But you know, Sunshine onto the Nolan is playing actually well because he's just trying to go into back. Oh, another one.
Oh, the CC immunity saves Dusty away. Oh my god, what a gameplay coming in from Sunshine. The AOT, sorry, the feather airstrike just to clear up, just to zone them away. But what a game! Just like Debbie said, Nolan really needs some flanks. And even though the team isn't, able to provide him with those, he makes it. He just makes those flanks for himself. He knows where to wait, just playing like the perfect assassin he is right now.
Yeah, and look at the builds though. He's got all the damage built on his hands, and this is definitely going to be hurting quite a lot onto the backlines most of the time. And of course, you want to be as greedy as possible when you are on a damage dealing assassins into the jungle, especially Yi Sin as well as the Nolan. They're going for the BOD, so it's gonna have to be a battle of skill sets most of the time when you're going against going together in a 1v1 situation. But right now, though, the plans are back in order again. Johan trying to play a little bit slower than they did before, and Untitled are staying together as a team, one not letting one out of sight. But you know, Sunshine, he has to play like he did before, like the assassin that he is. He have to be able to be there into the backline trying to assassinate. Oh,
Takes down that Braga armor once again. Hit a really large flickers away, seeing goes for a family problem. Taunt yes used up to move away, and this is what I was thinking, Debbie.
mhm.
The Xborg doesn't have an Athena. He doesn't even
Yeah.
have the anti-Rest. So right now, Nana as well as the Rangers actually giving him a lot of damage. He needs to make it as ASAP if you ask me. But
Mhm.
let's forgetting that Dusty as well as Sunshine. Oh my god, the gameplay is really great.
It's like a similar gameplay we are seeing, but one is assassin and one is the marksman, right? And one does have they have a lot of deaths as well, so this is definitely gonna be a 1v1 situation in which the micro is gonna be mattering a lot. But you know, this Lord should be contested by Johan because they do not want to let go of this Lord just again. But look at Sunshine the way into the backline first, man. You have to be careful as well as Dusty under the Yi Sin. He can try to go look for flanks anytime soon. He might be spotted out though.
Oh, Dusty, the Pokemon manages to immune it away. Same goes for Prime, the Feather Airstrike coming in. Sunshine dashes away. Meanwhile, in the other front, it is family problem and Hitori taking up all those damage. Looking up for some engages, and both the teams has a lot already being started up by the side of Team Untitled looking for it. The Frog armor, the ultimate coming from Xbox trying to zone people away, but Shane managed to grab onto the Lord and the AOTG dropping down as a defensive manual. Prime takes down Joker. The teams are still going up. Look at Dusty tries to take down Darky, but here comes the passive in hand, and with the Shane will be eliminated with that beautiful feather airstrike coming from the side, and Zohunt doesn't even need the Lord. They're trying to force it through, trying to force the final push, but will it be enough? The lanes aren't synced, and here comes Sunshine, tries to take something down. The Winter Crown gameplay coming in, but will not be enough as Brian guns him down. The stuns coming in from the Parsa, deadly in a very deadly situation, manages to back off for now. Parsa a bit too greedy, tries to go in, but with this Zohan finally making their comeback, the Lord has been taken down, and the macro, which was in the hands of Team Untitled, finally looking in the hands of Team Zohunt now.
Yeah, and they are just trying to get a little bit of advantage from just one Lord they're losing right there, and the mid inhibitor is going to be the cause for those fights right now. And Hitori onto the airport, he's already also tanky enough, so if he tries to go for a flanks, he have to be careful though, because there's a lot of damage going through by the first side as well. But look at him, man, he's just showing in aggression, man. This is the Aiden we know. Onto the first side, he plays this hero like an assassin, just trying to go into the backline, deal a lot of damage as well. But one thing he did right was trying getting down Shane in that particular team fight. So this is definitely gonna be a little bit of comeback for Zohunt. The goal is not gonna be mattering this time around. It's already 18 minutes of this game, and we have a lot of scaling heroes onto the side of Zohunt, but a lot of tanky heroes and a heal as well for the side of Untitled. So it's gonna be wrestling out who's gonna be having the more sustain, who's gonna be having the more damage. But you know what a nuisance Dusty is onto this Yi Sin. He's always onto the top lane trying to push under the fire lane so that Untitled, they cannot fully go into team fights, and they always have to wait to see what they could do into the top lane most of the time.
Well, definitely, and just like you mentioned, the goal doesn't matter, the priorities matter. And Farsa, now it's 18 minutes into the game, 19 minutes, and Farsa can literally, just two taps of that ultimate, and the Granger will be down. Two taps of the ultimate, Nana's passive will be used up. That's how deadly the damage and the range from this Farsa is. Doesn't even need that complete stun combo right now. So
Yeah,
maybe taking down the Farsa can be a priority right there. And Prime, I mean, just look at his position. Even though so many people
mhm,
have died in all those team fights, he makes sure that the position is good and he's not taken down as soon as possible. But then talking about Sunshine, like always finding the flanks, and in that team fight, if the immunity hadn't been come up from the YSS right there, it
yeah,
would be it would be a completely different outcome of the team fight. Maybe
yeah,
Untitled would be winning this team, but it is
mhm,
Dusty on the YSS, always making sure that he is safe.
yeah. He does have the global region with the mountain stalker right now, so I think they're definitely going to be getting into the point where he's going to be using into the full potential as well. But this Lord is going to be the most important Lord we're going to be seeing in this game so far, and a lot of contest is going to be happening. But the lanes are up to onto the top lane, though a little bit of slow push coming in from the side of Untitled and onto the bot lane as well. The lanes are actually meeting quite well, so maybe one have to try to give an answer to this. But look at Hidori, though, able to zone away 3 members, 4 members time and again because of the 2 damage that he did onto this fire blasting in. But the Lord is into half HP, it has to be resetted again, but family problem though. He's taken very low, he does have the revitalize, but it's not gonna be popped yet, but look at them. They're
Oh,
just trying to contest on it.
the ultimate revitalize and Farsa's feather airstrike coming in, but behind the scenes they're still looking for the zone steadily going in. That beautiful flicker as well as Planetity zone set up, and Sunshine will be grabbing on to that retribution. With that Hitori takes down Deadly, but that was a perfect
Oh,
exchange because
oh,
he set up that for them. And with this chain will be taken down by Farsa once again. He really needs to be careful, and they're still going in for the front. Sunshine takes down the immortality, and Dusty Misa as well as Prime looking to push from the other side. Same goes for the Farsa, looking to just sync up those lanes. Will Untitled be able to defend? Even they did get that Lord, but it is not enough for them as they're still pushing it through, trying to take down the base. Farsa's ultimate is already back up in position. The lane sync is perfect. They do have really low HP, but here comes the Farsa's
oh,
ultimate trying to zone them away. The bases
oh.
has been locked down as it will be a victory for Zohan. Oh my god.
Wow, what a close call coming in from both of these teams, man. Untitled plays so well as Johan, but in the end, the one with 2 marksmen is definitely winning. What do you think, Ray?
Don't downgrade it. You should see it as a marksman here, Debbie, because I feel
Oh
like that
wait,
would be
okay.
pretty insulting. But yeah, overall, Dusty Mizo, he looks like to be in the grind here because Dusty Mizo on a Yushin sheet, I didn't thought I would see this day, but we are